What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to try to make this video as quick as possible. I know, we all have a life, and we're better, I guess, at getting little bits of information. So I will try to do my best. And so we're going to be continuing our white paper, okay, for BasedAI. And I wanted to start with this post here from the Pepe Coiners. But before we continue, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, help the channel to get this information out, so that we can be able to change a whole lot of other lives as we learn more about this amazing project. And so here we go. So they posted, so the Pepe Coiners here, the Pepe Coin community, they posted this, right? So this was, this person's called Eric Smith. It says in the next year, okay, not too far. So next year, AI models will unite three key pillars: very large context windows, agent, and text to action. And no one understands what the impact will be, but it will involve everyone having a fleet of AI agents at their command. And so, boom. So they're saying here that this is exactly what BasedAI, the whole purpose of BasedAI is adding FHE, so that those prompts, okay, again, fully homomorphic encryption, okay, so that those prompts also belong to you, and you've got something revolutionary. So, the fully homomorphic encryption, the FHE, allows the data, right? Okay, this is to large language models. Okay, so to an AI, it allows data to remain encrypted even during processing. Okay, we've spoken about this before. This means that both the prompts, okay, which is the questions, okay, so if you have a question like what this prompt, this is the questions or the commands, okay, that you're inputting. You give this to the LLM, and the response will remain private. If you control both the LLM and the encrypted data, okay, you gain full ownership over the process, ensuring complete data privacy and security. That is truly revolutionary, guys. Truly, truly. I mean, this is just like security, like on steroid, with our own information. And so, yeah, so if you control both, ensuring complete data privacy and security. This combination can be revolutionary because it allows you to utilize powerful AI tools while keeping all interactions entirely private. Okay, something that hasn't been fully possible before. So very, very, very cool stuff going on there. So now let's go to, we ended up here at 3.13. Yeah, we ended up here. And so we're going to continue with 3.2, initial allocation scheme. Okay, and so here, we have the primary allocation of network generated words or emissions in brains adheres to a predefined, okay? So this is not a, set in stone numbers, but this is the predefined ratio. So it's almost like when you buy something, it's already predetermined with certain parameters or certain settings. And so these are going to be probably the suggested, okay, predefined ratio. 75% go to nodes, miners, and validators, the ones that are going to be performing the computational duties, and the remaining 25 to the brain owners. This it's very aggressive, right, towards the miners and validators, but you want to make sure that you get good, you get good working and efficient miners and validators so that your brain can prosper and, so on and so forth. And if you run the numbers, right, if you get on the lower end 30,000 base tokens in a year, so that would be, for the brain owner would be 7.5, so 7,500 more or less tokens. Like I said, you can play with these numbers. Maybe you'll give 60% to miners and validators and you keep 40. But, again, you just want to be competitive and have you want to have an edge of sorts there. So the network generated rewards, BasedAI, also known as emissions, are distributed primarily between the two groups, the nodes and the brains. We already talked about that. This reward allocation, okay, is designed to motivate both groups to continuously monitor and enhance the performance of the brain, leading to more stable and efficient network overall. Owner adjustments. Brain owners maintain the discretion to enact redistribution. Okay, this is just talking about this here, that you can change how much each group gets, right? Okay, so this acts as an economic lever that will likely create a competitive environment for rewarding strong miners as the intelligence marketplace matures on BasedAI. So it's just talking about that. You just want to be relevant. You want to be competitive. And, and so having a right distribution helps with that. Okay. The other thing, let me see. Subsequently, the model incentives are magnified for users proportionally to their respective stakes within a brain, creating a preferential structure that rewards more heavily engaged participants and attempt to equitable rewards that equitably reward the relative commitment to the network, but also the relative commitment to a given brain. Okay, so and they give this, so this stake weight incentive. Okay, so what it's saying here is, you see, the model incentivizes are magnified for users proportionally to the respective stakes within a brain. By creating a preferential structure that rewards more heavily engaged. Okay, yeah, so practically here what it's saying is the more, the more efficient a brain is, then that brain, it'll probably get more rewards, right? Because it is trying to create that, it's trying to reward more those that are actually putting in more work. Okay. And so that seems to be that. Okay, now here in this chart, so it kind of puts this mark here at the 70th percentile. It says BasedAI introduces a strategic delineation for active stakes. So you have active validators, inactive validators. Okay, so an active validator is the one that goes through that threshold there. Inactive validators are under it. But that doesn't mean that these guys here won't get rewards. Okay, it's gonna give preference to these guys first because they're putting in the work, right? Here, the stake weight incentives. But, and so here is saying, let me see, okay, where only those validators with a stake amount in the top 7% in comparison to their counterpart within the brains are recognized as active. Okay, so I guess this threshold here is just to determine one from the other. Are you active or inactive? Okay. This creates a dispersion dynamic that encourages validators to distribute their efforts and subsequently stake across multiple brains, such as design is particular. All right, cool. So what is this doing? So BasedAI is using a strategy, right, to encourage innovation and competition among brains by setting this rule, right? This, like the active versus inactive. Only the validators within the top 70, okay, percent in terms of their stake amount within a brain are considered active. So this means that validators need to be in the top tier of stakes to be recognized, which encourages them to spread their stakes across different brains rather than concentrating everything on just one. Wow. Okay. So why is this important? Okay. So let's say, for example, in this brain one, I have my brains staked here, right? And I've already accomplished this 70th percentile. If I add more to this 80 here, it's not gonna make any change. It's not gonna add any more rewards. So what the system is doing is it's actually encouraging me to move some of my funds over, or some of my tokens over to brain 2, so that then I can reach this 70th percentile again, and then I get more incentives. Okay. So because what you're trying to do is you're trying to incentivize people to not just throw everything on one brain. You want more. The more brains that you have working, guess what that means? The more decentralized the ecosystem is. And that's what we're trying to do as well. We're trying to, or we, well, yeah, because I'm an investor, right? For Base. And so, the idea is to be able to have all the brains, fully engaged and working, working at their max. And so this just encourages, the validators and miners to go ahead and actually, work in different brains. So like that, not all the power is centralized, like let's say just in brain 1, so it incentivizes you to, to work in other brains as well, which is pretty cool. And so let's see. Let me check my time. And we're already at 13 minutes. So yeah, we're not even going to get to any of these things. I just want to say this last thing, right? Because why do I like this idea so much? And it mentions it somewhere else. But what this does is it actually encourages people, okay, to invest in other brains that are not, either that are new or that are not doing too well, right? And so let's say you have some miners that are like, that are good miners and validators, and they're like, okay, well, there's no point in coming in here because this thing is practically saturated, just number 2, number 3 as well. And so, so perhaps you go to brain 4, right? And or you join this validator here, so you could bring this one to the 70th percentile, and then now, you become a high producer, right? And so it just helps, if there's a 4th brain here, a new one, let's say me, I come in now. And so, you have these validators. They're like, hey man, we gotta go somewhere else and, get something else started, because these are getting a bit saturated. So, and it does help that new brain owner, it produce. And because that's what you want. Ultimately, you just want your brains to be producing. And it does help decentralize this whole process where not everybody, again, is in one brain. And, it shares the wealth, pretty good. I mean, it's a very, very cool idea. And I truly like that. So with that, let's take a look at where BasedAI is at the moment. So it continues to drop. Not really sure what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin just dropped under $57,000, guys, and it's pretty much taking everybody with it. Okay, the memes. We'll look quickly here. Why is this not moving? Okay, the memes. Well, there you go. Boom, boom. Just dumping. Boom. This is insignificant, really. I mean, it's just practically zero. But everything, boom, dumping. Here we have GMEChanne. Okay, just for whatever reason, pumping. But again, I've gotten to a point where I don't trust most of the memes any longer because this has just become a let's mega pump to mega dump on people. And so I'm sorry, I I don't trust the new projects any longer. And so this is the case. Guys, I sure hope that this continues to help put the pieces together with the whole BasedAI situation. I was going to attempt to go further, but like I said, I don't want to make this any longer than it already is. All right. So with that said, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.